YouTube fans, here again. Now I'll talk about Christmassy films, why not this one? A psychological type of horror thriller. I'm not going to talk about the remake, because it's a piece of shit, but I'm going to talk about the classic, the original, Black Christmas. Black Christmas, shot in 1974, why not? It's a good one. I'm not normally into movies with murderers and psychos and torture and all this, but on this occasion, I make an exception on this one because it's a separately made film. Again, shot in 1974, it's suspenseful, it's psychological, and it's very old school type of thriller. Starts off, you've got an authority house, you've got young students what stay there, and you get the idea of the killer. This, you could say, is the first time you get to see the PV shot of the killer. It's inspired a lot of other psychological suspenseful horror films. Movies, let's say, like Harry. It inspired a lot of the Friday the 13th to use the same idea, the cameraman as the killer, using the PV shot. Hiding behind buses and all that. This was the first time it was ever done, though. So you've got the idea there's a psycho, and he's breaking into this the Authority House. You get the theme tune, Silent Night, Holy Night as the opening, but it's definitely not a religious film. So you've got the idea of the killer breaking in, you see the hands going up. And the one thing I do like about this film is you never get to know who the killer is. You never get to know the reasons. It shows you less. Sometimes less can be nerving, can be very nerving. And you get some good actors in it. Margaret Titter, may she rest in peace, and David Saxon, who's been in a lot of films as the cop. So at first he breaks in and he's making this obscene phone call, right? He's making this really obscene phone call, really dirty. Starts off dirty and seedy, but then it gets cheaper. It really does get cheapy. He does it a lot, doing cheapy phone calls and everything. And at first you think the guy's a bit of a perf, but you find there's more to it than that. You get one dude and she's about to leave in the authority house to go to her family, and she gets killed. It's a plastic bag on the face. Now, the one I've seen the uncut version of Black Christmas. It's not really that gruesome, it's not really that bloody, but what it is, it gets under your skin. It's nerving, and it's made to be that way. It's a definitely made, psychological, suspenseful movie. Well, inspired a lot of other films. In 1979, this inspired the movie When a Stranger Calls, similar to the same story. And it's a very definitely made film. You've got an idea that one girl's gone missing halfway through the film, and you get the aftershots of her body, but again, you don't see it. But you can picture it in your mind, and that's what I like about the film. It doesn't show too much blood, doesn't show too much snot, but it is very nerving. And it's very definitely made to do that way. But the most memorable death of all is Margaret Ticker's death. This is very hard to watch now, she's no longer with us, but I do remember her death. I do like to see her, she's trying to get a little kiddie drunk. And there's some funny bits in the film, and there's a bit where she's talking about turtles doing it. There's a bit where they're looking at this old woman on this photograph, and the picture changes every 2 minutes, and she looks to make a finger in your face. So there's some funny bits in the film, but it's very nerving. One of the women that work there gets killed. I think she sees the body, the one I said has the plastic bag on her face. She sees the aftershots of her, and she gets a hook slammed on her head. Again, you don't see it, but you get to see the aftershots. But Margaret Ticker's death is the most memorable one of all, because the killer comes in, you only see a saddle off the face, and then you don't see that much of a defilement, and she gets stabbed by a fucking ice pick. I shit you not, she gets stabbed by some ornament, looks like a unicorn, and she gets stabbed. Which is that a gruesome death scene. Again, you don't see a lot of blood, but you see as much as you need to see. You see as much as you need to see. And all the way through the film, you've got this girl, right, and you got the idea she's breaking up with her boyfriend, and it makes you think, all the way through the film, it makes you think that he's going to be the killer. It literally makes you think that he's going to be the killer in the film, right? And spoilers if you've never seen Black Christmas from 1974. Spoilers. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've been warned. So you think that he's the killer, right? And he's broken into the house to see the woman of his life. And long behold, she stabs him, right? And you think David David Satson think he's dead or he is dead, and sees him sock and the basically, the different drugs, self-defense and all that, and you think that he's the killer. Long paroled, you find out that he isn't the killer. The killer is in the loft, hidden away, and he's still in the house. He's still in the house where he's done these beautiful murders. And you hear him going, Mommy, Daddy. And it ends where you see the window of the girl's body, with the plastic bag on her end. And it ends and it fades to black. You hear that music again, Silent Night, Holy Night, and it ends. And it's chilling because you never got to know why the killer was doing it. You never got to know. You never know. Bathroom noise downstairs. You never got to know why he did it. You never know what was the motive. You got the idea he might have been a bit of a pervert, but you never got to know who the killer was. You never got to see the killer. You never got to know the reasons why he done it. And to me, that makes the film more cheaper, makes it more nerving because you never got to know why the guy was killing these women. And that's what makes it book. I also remember the serial where Mary Tick is winding up the cop before she gets killed, and she says something about the Foster Day, which is a sex act. And this cop is so fucking stupid, he doesn't know what Foster Day is. I can't pronounce the word right. It's a sex act. And he goes to his peers and he says, "What's the Foster Day?" He says, "I know what it is. It's something dirty." And all his peers and all the other coppers are just pissing themselves laughing. So there are some funny bits in the film, as well as some nerving bits. It's definitely psycho horror done. It gets you under the skin. The bit where he's making the scene phone calls to killer, and he's talking dirt, and they're trying to get him. There are some really, really nervous bits in it, but it's not in your face. It's not got blood. It's not got gore, but it's definitely a film you wouldn't put on for the family. It's definitely not a family film, even though it's called Black Christmas. Long behold, the film was going to be called Halloween. This was before Halloween. And they decided to stick with the film Black Christmas. It's psychological, it's suspenseful, like I keep saying, and it definitely gets under your nerves. It even said on the trailer, if this one doesn't stare you, your skin must be tight. And it definitely does stare you. It's nerving. You never know the motive of the killer. You think he's some pervert. But I say, you see a lot of Date PV socks. There's a bit where he's going down the stairs and he's earwigging the girls. And you see the camera lens, pulsing by. And you've got the idea that's the killer's eyes. And, the PV shots. Which it does, like I say, it inspired a lot of other psychological horror films. It inspired Halloween, the scene where the kid puts the mask on, and other bits where Michael Mathis in Halloween 2 is walking down the stairs. It inspired a lot of the Friday the 13th films where Jason or the mother, and the bits where they hide around the buses and you hear the famous shh, shh, ha, ha, that music. So this is the film that inspired those films, whether it be Halloween, whether it be Friday the 13th. This was the film that inspired that. And I dilute it. I think I saw it on YouTube, and I saw it on a few other channels as well, Black Christmas. It's definitely a nerfing film, but it's a very well made film. Definitely is very well made. It's definitely scary when it wants to be. And that's why they did not make the remake. The remake was too much, well, why did they kill this? You got to see the killer. But it spoiled it. It was over the fucking top. It's shit. Forget the fucking remake. Check out the original from 1974. Very competent film. Very good actors. Very nervous atmosphere. It's definitely a good one. Black Christmas from 1974. Into them. Be smart. Be safe. See some more movie reviews, more things, and more things on the way. Into them. I'll see you later.